Magic the Gathering fans are calling this the death of the game, and honestly, they might be right. Wizards just announced the most chaotic release schedule ever. Marvel superheroes, Hobbit, Star Trek. Magic the Gathering is officially split in half. So on the one side, you have the old school players. They grew up when Magic the Gathering meant something. Lore, mechanics. These old school players are saying this isn't Magic anymore, this is a Fortnite skin with a mana cost. And honestly, they are not wrong here. And on the other side, you have the defenders. This is the shut up boomer crowd. These people are saying more players means more money for Magic the Gathering for Hasbro. And honestly, that's good for Magic, and they're not wrong either. So both sides are technically right here. But here is where it gets dangerous. When both sides are right, both sides actually end up losing. Because Wizards of the Coast loves this split. They want the community fighting itself. Wizards of the Coast wants the community arguing instead of asking the real questions. For example, one of the questions is who's actually benefiting from this release schedule here? Because it's not you. It's not the old school fans who feel betrayed. It's not the new players who think crossovers are cool. The only winner is Hasbro, and if you don't believe me, let me show you how Spider-Man proved it. Before you understand this, you have to understand that the old school crowd feels angry. They feel robbed of the game's soul. Magic used to be about world building, about original planes, about lore. Now, every other set, it seems like Wizards saying, okay, we ran out of ideas, The Hobbit, superheroes from Marvel. Let me borrow your ideas, Star Trek. Let me borrow your ideas because we ran out of ideas. It's like going to your favorite steakhouse and it's just Taco Bell. Like, sure, it's food, but is this the food that you love here? So that's the old school players' pain. That's what they're feeling right now. But the defenders are feeling something else. The defenders are saying, who cares? More money, more players, a stronger game. And let me tell you, Wizards of the Coast love hearing this. When the defenders say stuff like this, it gives them cover. They can pump out Marvel, Lord of the Rings, Spider-Man, and they can pretend it's about growth. When in reality, it's about Hasbro's quarterly earnings here. It's like saying, look, the game's healthier now. But the old school fans are saying this is not a healthier game. The game is basically on life support. Now here's where the split gets toxic. The passion for Magic the Gathering is still within me, but the world of IP slop is not Magic the Gathering. How many positions are largely, I wish less people could enjoy Magic so I could enjoy it more? Old school fans see the new defenders as sellouts. And the defenders see the old school fans as toxic gatekeepers. And Wizards of the Coast is laughing. Because while you're fighting each other, you're not noticing the price climbing. Product scarcity is getting worse and worse. You're not noticing that every single set is designed to form a spike and then crash. Because when the community starts fighting each other, nobody pays attention to the con. And as I'm about to show you, Spider-Man shows how that scam plays out. But you have to understand first, it's not just players versus players out here. It's about two completely different versions of Magic. One side wants the game to be about lore, originality, and the other side wants the broad appeal. They want new players entering the game. And Wizards of the Coast is choosing the third option, neither. They don't care about lore. They don't care about accessibility. They care about maximum cash extraction. And the best way to extract that cash is to split the fan base in half, make them scream at each other, and then sell at a markup cardboard to both sides. Think about it. Old school players, Universes Beyond is killing Magic. New players, Universes Beyond is saving Magic. And they're both wrong. It's not about saving the game. It's not about killing the game. It's about milking the game until the game is unrecognizable. And you're not the player anymore. You're the hamster on the freaking wheel. And Wizards of the Coast does not care if the wheel breaks at any point, because they can always build another one, and 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 another one. I said Wizards of the Coast loves the divide. Let me prove it. All you have to do is look at the Spider-Man set, because this set was textbook. First, step one, Wizards of the Coast will hype the set to infinity. They will hype it. The set of a lifetime, the biggest IP, Spider-Man, everybody knows Spider-Man, collectors start foaming at the mouths. Investors are grabbing their calculators. Scalpers are salivating like Pavlov's dog. And then boom, prices fall harder than Gwen Stacy here. So we see the actual hype, not the collectors trying to buy in, not the scalpers trying to buy in. We now see how the actual players who finally get a chance to buy it, how do the actual players feel about the damn product? Not what Wizards says they feel like, not what Alpha Investments, not what any of these channels say people feel like. How do actual players feel about the set? We find that out upon pre-release. And a lot of these stores had people that just didn't show up. Play boosters fell to 144, and by the way, I'm still selling them cheaper at 129. I always sell cheaper than TCG Player on happytigergaming.com. Keep that in mind. But the scalpers start crying because damn, like I paid for this and now it's worth less, and I never intended to open it. I just wanted to flip it real quick and now I can't. But Wizards of the Coast already cashed out. Wizards of the Coast isn't thinking about Spider-Man. What do you think they're trying to think about this? They're already 6 sets ahead. They already have Star Trek planned November of next year. It's not even November of this year yet. So here's their little playbook. Step 1, you release something flashy, aka Spider-Man here. Step 2, you let fear of missing out do the heavy lifting. People on Reddit, whatever, all the investors, all the flippers, you let FOMO do the heavy lifting. In step 3, you let the whales swipe. The pre-orders are already sold. Step 4 is watch the market collapse as you're already working on the set 6 sets ahead. And step 5, pretend it was just part of the game. And Marvel, The Hobbit, Star Trek, they're all running the same script. Wizards wants to know how far can we push something? And the answer is pretty damn far. Because even after this crash, players are going to line up again for the next pre-order. Which tells Wizards of the Coast one thing. It tells them they can get away with it. And they will. Old school fans say this isn't Magic. New school fans say who cares? And guess what? Both are missing the point. Spider-Man wasn't about players. Spider-Man wasn't even about the game. It was about seeing how much blood they could squeeze out of the Soul Stone. And Wizards of the Coast squeezed that stone so hard that it started cracking. And they laughed because there's always another stone. And another. And another. Keep the players fighting and distracted while you keep making money off of every set, regardless of how bad it flops, regardless of how many people get stuck holding the bag. Make money every time you're already 6 steps ahead. And pretend that the bubble's not going to pop, even though it popped like almost immediately. But don't worry. Avatar is going to be your next chance to lose your kid's college fund. It's not about balance. It's not about lore. It's not about the community here. It's about turning nostalgia. What is this? Furbies? Furbies in Secret Lair, it's about turning your nostalgia into a Ponzi scheme. The next sets are always going to be bigger. They're always going to be flashier. They're always going to be more dangerous for your wallet. And Spider-Man was the damn test run. It's like, what if we took your childhood memories and glued mana symbols on them and then sold it to you? The truth is they know that, like, even if the gameplay sucks, they still have that nostalgia factor now. They don't need originality. They don't even need the cards to play well. They just need Furbies on a pack here. I've been seeing this Dwight from The Office. I don't even know if this is real. I literally don't know if Dwight from The Office on a Magic the Gathering card is real. That's sad. So don't be surprised when the next lineup looks like this. We got Shrek featuring Donkey as a Planeswalker. Magic the Gathering universe is beyond Olive Garden. The mana is breadsticks, of course. Unlimited breadsticks, but no reprints, oddly enough. Like, imagine telling yourself one day in Magic the Gathering, Gandalf the Grey is going to shoot a lightning bolt at Peter Parker, and the Star Trek fleet, the ship, is going to give you a +1/+1. And the worst part is you'd try it. And you know why it sounds like fun for us? Because Wizards of the Coast trained us like rats. The craziest part is the game is fun despite all of this nonsense. If it wasn't fun, wouldn't players leave? And Wizards knows that they have this gold mine. They know that the game's fun and they know you're addicted to it. And you're so addicted that little piggy's gonna eat whatever slop they feed to us. Even if it's Tarkir, even if it's Edge of Eternities, even if it's Shrek, even if it's Olive Garden. Piggies eat the slop that Hasbro gives us. It's not just random and it's not just Hasbro being greedy, it's part of a strategy. And the strategy only works if they get rid of these old school players, the Magic Boomers, and replace these Magic Boomers with whales. These are the same people who sent threats to the balancing committee, guys who haven't bought anything in years and complain when their shit isn't competitive anymore and want to make Magic the Gathering great again. Purging the toxic shitlords and making boatloads of cash seems like a win-win to me. Here's what nobody wants to admit, and it's like, hello, this one's so obvious. Nobody cares if you quit. Magic the Gathering wants you gone. If you're complaining about it, Magic wants you to leave so they can replace you. They will label you toxic and replace you with a future whale. You've been playing the game 15 years. You're not the target anymore. They don't care. You are a liability. You complain too much. You want balance, you want quality, you want lore. That's too much. When does balance make Wizards of the Coast money? When does lore increase their shareholders' money? They don't see you as a customer anymore. They see you as an obstacle. The old school fans are worth a couple $100s a year. They buy singles, which doesn't make Wizards money, really. They wait for reprints and they draft casually. But a new whale coming in will drop $1,200 on a collector booster from an anime video game that's an RPG. It's not even Magic the Gathering. This guy's never played before, and now he's spending $1,200 on a collector booster. So who do you think Wizards is going to cater to? The old school player or the new school player that spends your entire yearly budget in one weekend? And they're not even subtle about it. They showed you the strategy with Spider-Man. It's not about making Magic bigger, bro. It's about making the whales fatter. And if you think Universes Beyond is disrespectful, Wizards thinks it's efficient. If you think this release schedule is insane, Wizards says it's optimized. And if you think Magic the Gathering is losing its soul, Wizards thinks you're in the way. Because it's not about the game anymore. It's about controlling the market. Old school players want balance, but Wizards of the Coast want chaos. And the people who complain aren't customers, they're just noise. And therefore, they don't care if you leave. They want you to leave. And if you're thinking nothing feels like it used to, it's because you're right. Magic is killing the old version of the game. The old version of the game is not profitable to keep Magic the Gathering alive. And as soon as you accept that truth, the sooner this stupid release schedule starts to make sense here. And if this terrifies you, by the way, they're not even done. Marvel Superheroes is going to be the main event. The Spider-Man set showed Wizards of the Coast how high Marvel could prop up prices of a set that players don't even care to show up for when it comes pre-release time. So what do you think happens when Marvel Superheroes drop? I mean, every character is a gold mine. Every booster pack is a lottery ticket. And Wizards knows it. They've been drooling over this one. Pre-orders are going to be insane. And scalpers are going to hoard this product like toilet paper in 2020. And the whales are going to swipe harder than ever. Because it's not just Spider-Man fans buying this, it's Marvel fans and Magic fans buying this damn set coming up. People who don't care about Magic will still buy boxes. The flippers are going to be crazy here. No, I'm telling you, there's going to be millions of them. And you're going to have a situation where casuals can't even touch this set. They won't be able to get their hands on the set. Or we're going to get a situation where prices detonate. Wizards of the Coast isn't anticipating this set holding value. It will, but they don't care about that. They just want it to extract value upon release, and they're already onto the set after that. It's the same playbook scaled up from Spider-Man. So think about the crazy thing. What if they get it right? What if there's actually good cards in here? If there are good cards in this set, Thanos is going to snap his fingers and you're going to lose half your wallet like that. But it doesn't stop with Marvel, because right after that we have Hobbit. Every single card here is going to be a lottery ticket. And after that, we got Star Trek. Because who doesn't want to see Captain Picard tap 2 lands to counter a Thunderbolt from Gandalf the Grey? So if Spider-Man was the test run and Marvel was the cash grab, what is going to happen when the system collapses? Well, the truth is Wizards already has a plan for that. So first you get the product saturation, then you get the price fatigue. We're already seeing it in Pokemon where booster boxes keep going up and up in price on the secondary market, so much that even the MSRP goes up. We're going to hit a price fatigue eventually with Magic the Gathering where players are just priced out. And this is what nobody gets. Pay attention here. When the players stop buying, there's no one for the scalpers to sell to. And the second there's no one for the scalpers to sell to, we see the prices crash. And all the people who was investing in Magic the Gathering, they overextend on the newest set, hopefully not using credit, because the price will for sure tank. And suddenly they're stuck holding cardboard that's worth less than a Happy Meal toy. When players lose confidence in their own game, this game is going to bleed faster than Uncle Ben. And here's the part that stings the most. It doesn't even matter how much you used to love Magic the Gathering, because your version of the game with originality, with identity, with balance, that game's not going to exist anymore. That game has been replaced by the machine that spits out IP crossovers until the tank is empty. And again, they have a plan when that happens. The crash isn't the end of Wizards of the Coast. The crash is their pivot. Because Wizards of the Coast knows once they drain every single dollar out of the old players who are leaving, the new whales that are coming in, the collectors, the scalpers even, once they drain maximum cash value out of every single person buying their product, they can move on to their next scheme. And their next scheme is digital. Arena exclusive IP sets, NFT style cosmetics. Think about it. Why would they sell you cardboard when they can sell you pixels with no printing cost? The collapse isn't a failure. Again, they're sucking Magic the Gathering dry, the one that you know and love, because when it crashes, they're going to be here. So no, the collapse is not a failure. The collapse is a bridge to something even more predatory. And the scary thing is we are already walking across that bridge. The collapse of Magic the Gathering, when it happens, will be the excuse. And when the cardboard economy finally implodes with Star Trek crashing into the Earth, Wizards of the Coast is not going to apologize. They're going to pivot, and the pivot has already started. I mean, look at Arena. There's cosmetics. We're going to get bundles. You know very well. Battle passes. I mean, they've already built the framework. Why print cardboard with printing costs, with distribution costs, when you can just hit enter on a keyboard? Why deal with the scalpers and the complaining when you can just control 100% of the market? Why sell a booster box once when you can keep changing the cosmetics of cards and get that recurring revenue stream with the battle passes every other month? Because digital Magic is cheaper to produce, easier to produce, and easier to monetize. And you don't even need to leave your house to play it. So it's going to be infinitely more addictive. One more battle pass, one more pack. Let's just buy it from my phone while I'm laying in bed tired, half asleep. You don't need to love Magic. You just have to love swiping. And when they see all that money coming in, you know what they're going to say? See? Look at all the players buying this. Players love digital. This is what they want. And they're going to use the sales as an excuse to the shareholders. And you know what? They're not going to be wrong, because we would have been fatigued from the scalpers, from the price fatigue. And it is more convenient to play online. So I was wrong when I said Magic the Gathering was a Fortnite skin. What Magic the Gathering is, it's Candy Crush, and you are the grandma stupid enough to spend $99 a day on it. And all of a sudden, it's not Friday Night Magic anymore. It's whales gathered around their phones and their iPads. And they're fighting and they're completing quests. And it's easier if you have the battle pass because it's 10 times faster and you don't have to grind as long because you have a job, so that you can buy the cards so you can get the new Spider-Man emoji card that, you know, is one emoji is going to make them $1 million. It's like you look at how much money World of Warcraft made when they were selling the games, and then they released one mount as something you could just buy, and that made them more money infinitely than the people who bought the game. So it's like, of course, everyone looks at that from a business perspective of how this works here. No more distributors, no more stores, no more LGSs getting in the way, no more complaining old fans, no more whales arguing with them, and then eventually having the price fatigue because of the scalpers. No more scalpers, no more middlemen, just you, your wallet, and the app. And here's the nightmare of it all. It's not about cardboard. It's about how far they can stretch nostalgia. If you pre-order Marvel for $900 a collector booster, will you buy the battle pass for $19.95 a month? The answer is yes. And you'll chase the foils in the real world, and you'll chase the cosmetics on your phone. So when people say Universes Beyond is killing Magic the Gathering, they are wrong. Universes Beyond is not killing Magic the Gathering. Universes Beyond is transforming Magic the Gathering. Because paper Magic is not the product anymore. You are the product. And you go on Twitter and you outrage and you argue with other people. And your nostalgia for the old game and the way it used to be, that's going to be the leverage. And your fear of missing out is going to be their revenue. So no, you can argue as much as you want, but Magic the Gathering isn't going to be fixed because Wizards doesn't want to fix it. I believe Wizards of the Coast wants this to happen. They want the price fatigue to happen so they can pivot into the smaller, lower cost for you, more convenient. You don't have to fight scalpers. Phone version, yes, that's a different phone, of Magic the Gathering on Arena and other platforms. And if that sounds too extreme for you, wait till Marvel launches. It's going to be bad. And there will be blood on the streets. And there will be blood on the cardboard. The paper game will bleed. And Hasbro will be smiling because they're already working on the next Arena version. The digital pipeline all of a sudden will be open, where you just get the battle pass and that's all you need, and it's just a guaranteed monthly money for them, and you're not fighting scalpers, buddy. And this is the worst of it all. You don't have to like it. You just have to get used to it. So yeah, Wizards of the Coast just killed Magic the Gathering, and they're laughing about it because it wasn't about lore. It wasn't about the community. It wasn't about balance. It was about milking the nostalgia cow until it dies and then selling you the bones on Arena. So if you're an old school fan, your version of Magic is already dead. You've already seen it happen. And if you're one of the new guys defending this, you're wrong because it's not going to make Magic the Gathering bigger. It's about making you smaller, less control, less identity, less ownership, until the only thing left is a subscription fee for a Marvel skinned Planeswalker. So let me ask you something here. Do you honestly think Universes Beyond is the future of Magic? Or do you think Universes Beyond is going to be the end of Magic? Because we have the Spider-Man. That was the prologue. We have the Marvel superhero set coming up. That's going to be the test. And eventually we will have the collapse. And when the collapse happens, you will remember this video. And I'm so serious. I want to know from the players who actually play the game. Do you think Magic the Gathering is evolving, or do you think it's dying?